Hello everyone, welcome to Live Interactive English. I'm Mike.
I'm Rainbow.
And we are back for part 2, or day 2 of our all-you-can-eat restaurants. That's right, we're reading about these very popular style of restaurants. So what do you think? Do you go to all-you-can-eat restaurants? Are you a fan of this style of eating?
I would say a few years ago I did go.
You did? Okay.
And as a kid, I did.
Oh, kids
Those are
love
very
them,
different
right?
experiences.
Yeah, for sure.
I think as a kid, I just wanted to eat a lot of candy.
So much stuff, and you can eat all the French fries
all
you
the
want.
fries. But as an adult, I think I'm more concerned about the quality of the food overall, like the quality of everything. Because sometimes you can have like oysters, lobsters, and then everything else tastes really bad. So the quality of the whole buffet is very important. But I generally don't go because I don't usually eat that much at once anymore. So I would feel like it's more of a waste. So, you know, I would just slowly eat.
Sure. If you don't have a big appetite or you're on a diet, it doesn't really make sense. I think they're good when you're eating with a bunch of different types of people.
Okay,
you know, I might
I
go
see
with
that.
my wife and her family because the food that her parents like is different from what we like. And, you know, so it kind of, there's something there for everyone. But I think also in the last couple of years with COVID-19,
oh no, we don't want to go now.
We're all a lot more careful about what we breathe or cough on.
Sneeze into.
So I've only been to one since the whole COVID thing started. Everyone had to wear their masks when you went. And I was kind of like, I don't know if I'll come back to this style of restaurant. But I think they'll make a big comeback. I think a few years after everyone forgets about COVID, people will be back because they're popular, because people like all-you-can-eat restaurants. And we'll find out more about why in today's article. Many people wonder how all-you-can-eat buffets can be profitable. It turns out these restaurants use a few tricks to stay in business. Because most people fill their plates with food from the first 3 trays they see, restaurants tend to place cheaper, more filling foods like pasta, rice, or potatoes at the front of the buffet line. What's more, platters of expensive items like steak or seafood are refilled less frequently than others to discourage extra helpings. So let's check out today's article and find out more about all-you-can-eat restaurants.
Okay, so I'll start with the first sentence. Many people wonder how all-you-can-eat buffets can be profitable. How do they make money is the question.
That's a good question.
It turns out these restaurants use a few tricks to stay in business. Maybe it's just like inviting you and then feeding you, and then so you'll go to the casino like we talked about last time. Well,
that's one of the tricks, but not all of these restaurants are attached to casinos, right? Some of them are just all you can eat. So yeah, that's a good question. How do they stay profitable? Now this is a business type word. First, we'll probably make it easier by explaining profit. Profit is the money that your company keeps after you pay for all of the other stuff. So if I have a restaurant, I make all that money from the people who buy food, but I have to buy the food, I have to pay the workers, I have to pay to clean the place and all that stuff. What's left over is the profit. So hopefully if I make profit, that money goes in my pocket for the future. So if a business is profitable, basically it's healthy. It's making more money than it's spending. At the end of every month, they have extra money than what they started with. So basically, yeah, the business is working well. They're making money for the future. For example, the director's first movie was his most profitable one. It made a lot of money, but the movies afterwards, maybe
no one
not
really
so
knew
much.
about them.
Yeah. So how do they stay profitable? How do they do it? Here are a few of the tricks, the clever things that they do to get people to eat, but not too much. It says because most people fill their plates with food from the first 3 trays they see, restaurants tend to place cheaper, more filling foods like pasta, rice, or potatoes at the front of the buffet line.
Very smart.
Think about it. Yeah, you get there, you're hungry, there's all this food, the first thing or the first two or three.
Pizzas, bread.
Oh, it's so delicious.
Pasta.
So you take a bunch of that, and then by the time you get to the steak or the expensive fish at the back, you're already have a pretty big plate.
So you have to start at the back,
so
right?
you start at the back, or at least skip over the first two or three things you see and maybe come back. Don't take what's on those first few trays.
That's right. So we have this word tray, and that's a big plate with the food on it. So for example, if you go to IKEA, you might also pick up a tray, and then you go in and then put all the food that you want, and then you can pay for
McDonald's
it.
to carry your food to your table, right? They'll give you a tray.
It's a big plate with all the other small plates on it. Our waiter almost dropped a tray of food on his way out of the kitchen, which would be very bad because he might be fired.
That would make a big mess and a loud noise. But of course, we always remember trays are mainly for carrying the food from one place to another. You don't usually eat off of the tray. You put your plates or bowls on the tray. So there you go. Skip those first few trays or the first areas where the food is. That's the cheap stuff. What's more, platters of expensive items like steak or seafood are refilled less frequently than others to discourage extra helpings. It's empty or there's just a few things, and they know people don't want to look greedy by taking a lot of it, so they'll take just a little bit.
There's only like 4 pieces left.
But they don't fill it up as fast as they would fill the salad or the rice or the other cheaper foods.
And that's to discourage people from taking more. So discourage, when a word starts with D-I-S, that means not. So we probably know the word encourage. So encourage is I want you to do something. I would like you to do something. Discourage is I am not trying to get you to do it. You shouldn't do this. So I'm going to give you an example sentence. The new traffic laws are meant to discourage parking illegally in the city's downtown area. So people park anywhere they want. The laws are trying to say, no, don't do that. So discourage means make the person not want to do something. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a break, and we'll be back for more about All You Can Eat, Part 2.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。今天的课文要来看看吃到饱餐厅是怎么赚钱的。这些餐厅啊，有利用一些诀窍来获利，来维持经营。那我们先来看 profit。profit 这个名词，它表示利润、收益。当我们说 earn a profit 或者是 turn a profit， 它是指获利或是有盈利的意思。在 profit 后面加上 able 这个字尾呢，就会构成 profitable， 它是形容盈利的、有利润的或是有利可图的。那课文就写到说，由于大多数的人会从最先看到的3盘食物来装满他们的盘子，因此餐厅常常会把那些比较便宜啊、比较有饱足感的食物，像是意大利面啊、饭啊、马铃薯等等，把它摆在自助餐取餐区的前面。那另外呢，这个牛排或是海鲜之类那种高单价的品项，补菜的次数就没那么频繁了，这样可以阻止客人多拿几份。好，我们来看2个单字 ，tray T-R-A-Y tray 表示盘子、浅盘。那么 discourage 这个动词它表示阻止或是打消什么的念头，使什么灰心的意思。它的字首 dis 就有不否定的意思。我们把字首 dis 改成 en 变成 encourage 就可以表达促进啊、助长或是鼓励、劝说的意思。这边一个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，我们来看一个重点是 WH 疑问词引导名词子句的用法。WH 疑问词像是 what、where、why、when、who、which、how 等等引导的名词子句呢，可以把这个子句用来当主词、受词或是补语用。我们就来看3个例句。What he did is very honorable. 他所做的事很值得尊敬。这时候 what he did 就是用来当主词。Do you know where my glasses are? 你知道我的眼镜在哪里吗？那这时候 where my glasses are 就是当受词用咯。 That's how we met， 那就是我们相遇的方式。那这时候 how we met 是当主词补语，用来补充说明主词的内容，让它语义变完整。好，那我们接着回到课文中。
These restaurants also typically use smaller plates and bowls to limit customer portions. Meanwhile, cups and glasses are usually quite large, encouraging diners to fill up on drinks. Another restaurant practice is to set prices based on the average food cost per person, which is calculated by dividing the total food cost by the average number of customers per day. While some customers eat more than the average cost, most customers eat less, so the restaurant earns a profit. Ever since Herb McDonald put an American twist on a Swedish concept, all-you-can-eat restaurants have been a hit with hungry customers. Though these restaurants may seem like a surefire way to lose money, clever business practices have enabled them to turn a profit and feed countless people in the process. All right, so we're back and we're learning some of the tricks of the all-you-can-eat restaurant. This is good if you're going to eat there, or maybe you want to open your own all-you-can-eat restaurant in the future. You can use these tricks. What? Put the cheap stuff at the front, because people will fill their plates with the cheap bread and pasta.
Don't fill up the expensive stuff.
And then don't fill the expensive stuff as quickly so that people won't take so much. That's a pretty good idea. What else?
These restaurants also typically use smaller plates and bowls to limit customer portions. They're always like this small.
That. Yes.
Meanwhile, cups and glasses are usually quite large, encouraging diners to fill up on drinks because, of course, that will make you full.
And the drinks are super cheap.
They are. It's just like Fanta, Coke.
I don't know if I've noticed the plates are smaller, but I've noticed that the big plates, they often hide them. They often put them on the bottom, only in one place.
Or you have to ask for them.
Yeah, so you're walking around with a small sort of bread plate like this, trying to put all your food on it. Interesting. And then they said, meanwhile, they have small plates, but meanwhile, they have big cups to, of course, as you said, fill up on drinks. Meanwhile kind of means at the same time, but in a different place. All right, so we often use this when we're telling a story, for example. I was working at home. Meanwhile, my brother was at the store buying dinner or something like that. So we're giving you the idea that these two actions, these two things are happening at the same time, but maybe in different places or for different reasons or something like that. But they are both certainly true. For example, do you mind clearing the table? Meanwhile, I'll get started on dessert. So as you do this, I will do that. There you go. So another restaurant practice. So here's our fourth trick, I believe. Another restaurant practice is to set prices based on the average food cost per person, which is calculated by dividing the total food cost over the day by the average number of customers per day. So basically, we're going to get 200 people. They will eat this much food. That's how much we have to make, and anything more, our company will be profitable.
Yep, smart. While some customers eat more than the average cost, most customers eat less. So the restaurant earns a profit. That's how they make money.
Interesting. So there will be those super eaters who go in and do eat a lot of food, but I guess the research, the studies have shown that most people actually eat less than you would expect them to. That is quite an amazing idea. But back to the article. Ever since Herb McDonald put an American twist on a Swedish concept, all-you-can-eat restaurants have been a hit with hungry customers. Yes, they certainly have. I wonder if the Swedish people who set up the first all-you-can-eat buffet at the New York World's Fair, what would they say if they went into a Las Vegas casino today? They would probably go, wow, this is much more than what we had as an idea, for sure.
Though these restaurants may seem like a surefire way to lose money, clever business practices have enabled them to turn a profit and feed countless people in the process.
It's true. If you said, I'm going to give a restaurant where people pay one price and eat as much as they can, most people would say that's crazy.
Crazy.
You'll lose all your money.
They end up making so much.
It hasn't worked out that way. To enable something is to allow it to happen or make it possible for it to happen, all right? By doing some action, by doing some preparation, by planning, you are enabling yourself to do something. Or maybe you're just letting someone do something. If the teacher says, yes, you can leave your desk and go to the washroom, they are enabling you to go to the washroom. But there are many other ways we can do things like this. A driver's license will enable you to drive a car legally. A key will enable you to open a locked door, as long as the lock and the key match. And studying and learning things will enable you to experience things and do things that you might not otherwise get the chance to do. Here's a good example sentence. The robot's design enables it to fit into narrow spaces. It allows it to fit. It makes it possible for it to fit into these small spaces. We have a what do you think question.
Okay, what do you think?
Okay.
Do you think you can eat more than the average person at a buffet? Why or why not?
I'd say about average.
Really?
Well, I mean, I think most people probably go up twice, right? I do that. I probably might not finish all the food or take a smaller plate the second time, but I wouldn't want to go in there and say, right, I'm going to sit here for 3 hours and eat until I can't walk. No, I wouldn't do that. So I'd say about average. Yeah, what about you?
I think I would probably less than the average person because I would go up about 3 times, but each time I wouldn't take too much food.
I see.
Because I just want to eat it really slowly and then have a different type of food the next time and then maybe dessert the last time.
That's good thinking. And I would say I also would make the business profitable. My reason for saying that is that usually I eat expensive stuff the first time. The second time, I remember my mom talking to me, and I usually have salad.
The second time.
The second time.
Oh, I start with salad. Interesting.
Salad's cheaper.
Interesting.
So there you go. What about you guys? Do you think that you get the most out of your experience and your visits to all-you-can-eat restaurants? Have a chat about that. Bon appetit. Stay safe.
Bon appetit.
And we'll see you back here very soon. Until then, smorgasbord.
Smorgasbord.
Nice word. Bye-bye.
吃到饱餐厅的另外一个经营诀窍就是，他们通常会用比较小的盘子跟碗来限制客人的食量。那么同时呢，杯子和玻璃杯通常都很大，要鼓励客人可以喝饮料喝到饱。好，文中用到 meanwhile 这个副词就是表达与此同时的意思。而餐厅的另一种做法呢，就是根据每个人的平均食物成本来定价。虽然有些客人呢很会吃，吃的比平均成本还多，但是大多数的客人都吃的比较少，那餐厅就可以从中赚取利润了。课文最后一段就提到说，自从那一位赌场经理 Herb McDonald 在瑞典的概念上面加入他的美式变化之后，吃到饱餐厅呢就一直受到饥饿顾客的欢迎。虽然这些餐厅看起来好像一定会赔钱，可是有了这种聪明商业做法，就可以让他们获利咯。好，来看单字 enable 它是动词，表示使能够，使成为可能。我们常常会用 enable something or somebody to 加上原形动词来表达使某人或某事物能够做某事。那这边3个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，我们来看这个重点是 since， 它表达自从点点点以来，后面可以接表示过去时间的子句或是名词。那么主要子句的部分，我们常常搭配完成式来用。例如 ，We haven't seen each other since graduation。我们从毕业后一直都没见过面。Mia has wanted to be a singer ever since she was a child. Mia 从小就一直想要成为歌手。注意到我们在 since 前面加上了 ever， 只是用来强调语气。好，下一个重点是 put a 或 an 加上形容词，再加 twist on something， 是表达说在什么什么上面加入怎么样的变化。那么 twist 在这边是当名词，用来指形式上的变化转折。例如 Sean put a new twist on the cake recipe by replacing butter with yogurt. Sean 以优格来取代奶油，为蛋糕食谱加入新的变化。好，下一个重点是 be a hit with somebody， 是指受某人喜爱欢迎。hit 在这边是名词，用来表达风行一时的事物。例如 The movie was a hit with kids. 那部电影很受孩子们的喜爱。好，以上是今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
Many people wonder how all-you-can-eat buffets can be profitable. It turns out these restaurants use a few tricks to stay in business. Because most people fill their plates with food from the first 3 trays they see, restaurants tend to place cheaper, more filling foods like pasta, rice, or potatoes at the front of the buffet line. What's more, platters of expensive items like steak or seafood are refilled less frequently than others to discourage extra helpings. These restaurants also typically use smaller plates and bowls to limit customer portions. Meanwhile, cups and glasses are usually quite large, encouraging diners to fill up on drinks. Another restaurant practice is to set prices based on the average food cost per person, which is calculated by dividing the total food cost by the average number of customers per day. While some customers eat more than the average cost, most customers eat less, so the restaurant earns a profit. Ever since Herb McDonald put an American twist on a Swedish concept, all-you-can-eat restaurants have been a hit with hungry customers. Though these restaurants may seem like a surefire way to lose money, clever business practices have enabled them to turn a profit and feed countless people in the process.
Hi everyone, I'm Stephen.
Hey, I'm Ian.
We're going to play a game called Guess the Bear, where each of us has 3 words or phrases on these cards. There are 2 sentences for each, and then we're going to say the word bear instead of the actual word, and you have to guess all 3 in 1 minute. Okay? All right, so start the timer. This is verb, 1 word.
Okay.
Number 1, the campaign worked to bear people from smoking. Number 2, talking in a movie theater is strongly barred.
Prohibited. Banned. Stop. Say the first sentence again.
Number 1, the campaign worked to bear people from smoking.
To stop people from smoking. To prevent. What's the second sentence?
Okay, next one. Let's go to the next one. Okay, this is an adjective, 1 word. Biking without a helmet is a bare way to get hurt. Number 2, this film looks like a bare Oscar winner.
Sure. Sure bet. Sure thing. What say the first sentence again?
Biking without a helmet is a bare way to get hurt.
Is a sure way, is a...
Okay, next one. Okay, this is a verb, 1 word. Number 1, having a degree will bear her to get a good job. Number 2, this money will bear us to go on vacation.
Help us. Ensure. Oh man, I don't think I'm gonna get any of these.
You know what? Your words were extremely hard. Okay, the first one was verb, 1 word. It was discourage. The campaign worked to discourage people from smoking. Number 2, talking in a movie theater is strongly discouraged. So it's very hard. The other one, second one was an adjective, 1 word. Biking without a helmet is a surefire way to get hurt.
It was 2 words?
This film looks like a surefire Oscar winner.
Surefire is 1 word.
And the last one, verb, 1 word. Having a degree will enable her to get a good job. And number 2, this money will enable us to go on vacation. Very difficult.
Okay. All right, ready? And go.
All right.
So first, it's an adverb, it's 1 word. He went to the library. Bear, she went to the store. They are renovating their house. Bear, they're staying with family.
Therefore.
He went to the library. Bear, she went to the store.
While. No, meanwhile.
Yes, you got it. Okay.
Oh my God. Okay.
Adjective, 1 word.
Okay.
The company was very bare this year. Your idea is great, but is it bare?
Beneficial? No, the company is thriving. Is it helpful? Is it
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, next
Come
one.
back to it.
Okay.
So it's a noun, 1 word, the third one.
Okay.
The waiter balanced a large bear on his hand. Grab a bear to hold all the drinks you have.
Tray.
Yes. Okay, let's go back to the adjective.
Okay.
So the company was very bare this year. Your idea is great, but is it bare?
Is it?
That's your clue.
Oh my gosh, I'm brain farting.
Oh.
No.
Okay, so the word is profitable.
Oh, I knew it.
The company was very profitable this year. Your idea is great, but is it profitable?
I hope it is.
Yeah.
I want money.
Great, yeah. I want money too.
I want money.
Yeah.
Money's nice.
See you next time.